Hi everyone, welcome to our Tuesday moment of mindfulness. Today we're going to focus on the spine, your backbone, and stretching it out in all the ways it likes to move. And then we're going to learn two yoga poses that are pretty famous. One is called downward facing dog and the other one is called upward facing dog. These poses help us build strength in our arms, strength in our core. And after we've moved a little bit, we're going to finish up with some centering breaths and like a little check-in with ourselves, how we're doing this Tuesday. So you can see I've got my yoga mat set up. And remember, if you don't have a yoga mat, you can use a towel, just so you have a space set aside for you to move. And there's going to be some options to use a wall, and there's also the option to use a chair. If you're using the chair, I suggest you use the back of the chair unless the chair is right up against the wall, because sometimes it slips around. I put the back two legs of the chair on my yoga mat so that it wouldn't slip around. So make sure you've got plenty of space around you. We're just going to start by tossing our arms side to side. Maybe you look over your shoulder. And then starting to notice your breath. And then you're going to stop your arms from spinning side to side, but kind of let them stop when they feel like it. Don't make them stop. Try and relax your shoulders. Now we're going to stretch side to side. So here, if you want to use a wall, you can put one hand on the wall, kind of push into the wall a little bit, reach your other arm up, and as you exhale, you can drop over, maybe even touching the wall with your fingertips. You can also turn and look up at your hand. Take some big breaths here. I like to sigh and flutter my lips. And then come back to center and we'll switch to the other side. So I'm just going to turn around so I can show on the wall. So this would be the same. If I wanted to use a chair though, I can have my hand on the chair, lean up and over, look up at my hand if I want to. If your neck is hurting you for some reason, you can also look down at the ground. Nice deep breaths. And coming back to center, we're going to stretch long, interlace your fingertips, so kind of zippering your fingers together. And then flip your palms to face out and reach your arms up. Take a nice deep breath in. And then you can let go of your hands. The last two spine stretches we're going to do is a back bend. You lean yourself back and then a rounding forward. If you want to, you can walk your hands all the way down. So breathing in, coming up and back. Breathing out, rounding yourself forward and down. And now we're going to learn the downward facing dog and upward facing dog poses, which are really similar to the back bending and forward bending. Since I have the yoga mat, I'm going to move my towel out of the way so that I can use the mat. To practice downward facing dog and upward facing dog using the wall, you put your hands on the wall so that your fingertips are lined up right about straight out from your shoulder. And here you're going to inhale and push your hips forward, look up, and then when you exhale, you're going to drop your head and look down. This is the downward facing dog. And then you breathe in and look up to your upward facing dog. Breathe out to downward facing dog. Breathe into upward facing dog. If you want to use the chair, makes it a little bit harder. You'll feel a little bit more of your core strength working to support you. You breathe out to look down. Breathe in, look up. Breathe out to look down. Breathe in to look up. If you've got the floor space, you can also do this down on the ground. This probably builds the most arm strength and core strength. So you line up your fingertips just like you did on the wall, and then you walk your feet back, so you make a triangle shape. This is downward facing dog. And when you breathe in, you come through the plank, like the top of a push-up, to look all the way up. Make sure your hips don't touch the ground. Keep them lifted up. Breathe out and look down. Breathe in and look up. Move with your breath for a few more rounds. And then whenever you finish, if you were doing the hands and feet on the floor option, you can drop your knees down, come to sit. If you were standing, using the wall or the chair, you can also make your way to sit, whether it's in a chair or on the floor leaning against the wall. We're gonna finish our practice by noticing our breath, reconnecting to our hearts. So one hand over the heart, other hand on top. And maybe you can feel your heart beating a little bit more now because we were just exercising and really using our muscles. And then noticing your breath. I can notice my breath is moving a little bit faster. I can definitely feel my heart beating. And remembering mindfulness is about paying attention to ourselves. So notice what's in your heart. Maybe when you are paying attention to your heart, you notice a certain color that's in there. If you want to close your eyes, you definitely can. And as you're breathing in, feeling your heart rise up. As you're breathing out, feeling your shoulders relax. Notice how you're feeling. And then once you notice, breathe out and blow your feelings away. And then notice what's in your heart. Maybe it's a message, some faces, a color. And whatever you notice in your heart, take a deep breath in and breathe it into your whole body. And then breathe whatever was in your heart out into the world. Connecting to yourself by connecting to your heart and what's in your heart. Feel connected to your community of fellow friends who are also connecting to their hearts. Thank you so much for taking a moment to move and breathe and pay attention to yourself with me today. I hope you have an amazing Tuesday, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow.